Been a bit quiet recently. I've been working on a system called the Lead Incubator Blueprint, which is a system for nurturing new contacts when they enter your world that I think actually pulls together pretty much everything I've been working on for the last however many years into a more concrete, replicable system with defined sequences and writing prompts. So I'm not going to go through the detail of those because I've got two separate videos which I will link to with this video. The overall gist is that people opt into your list from some kind of traffic source, whether that's referral or ads or organic SEO, however it comes about. People will opt in to your list for either a lead magnet, so they'll opt in for something specific, a specific guide, checklist, template, etc. So you then need an email sequence delivering that lead magnet, or they'll just fill in a form on your website. They'll opt into your list, they'll subscribe to your newsletter, etc. However they opt in, you want to send them to a thank you page where you invite them to opt into your print mail list. So in my sequence, I offer people a free copy of the Lead Incubator book. Don't know how well you can see that in the light. There we go. The idea here is to get people's mailing address, because if you have someone's mailing address as well as their email address, that's a much more robust system of follow-up. People's email addresses can bounce, email addresses can change. Before you delete them from your list, you can send them a postcard or a letter saying, I'm about to remove your details from my list. Just wanted to check, have I got your right email address, and would some offer be of interest to help bring you back into my world? So it's much more robust to have mailing address and email address. The other reason to ask for someone's mailing address is to qualify them, because the people who are most likely to work with you, most likely to become clients, will give you their mailing address for either a free book or a free booklet or some kind of valuable information in the mail. If they request this, then you send them to a second thank you page, which is where you place either a time-based offer, so a free consultation, a free webinar, etc. Or you might, if you've got a subscription type service like I have, you might offer a paid trial. So join for £1, come on in, check it out. So it's another route into your paid services. So there are then various email sequences that go out. We've got the orientation sequence, we've got the core story sequence, we've got the greatest hit sequence, and eventually you add people to your ongoing, fresh, out of the pan communications, which I recommend for most clients goes out every fortnight as a sensible cadence of production that isn't going to take over your life. When people opt in for your book or your booklets, you can also add them to your, send them a quarterly letter and the occasional postcard of things that they might be interested in. So if they've given you permission to mail them, then do mail them. So this is where you might want to use a service like Stamp or DocMail, so that you can trigger mailings automatically from your marketing automation system. Anyway, I've got two videos talking through the specifics of all of this. What I wanted to show you was in my system. So the blueprint itself, you can grab a copy of. This is an open source document. You can make a copy of it. It's open source under a Creative Commons attribution license. But do make a copy, use it, edit it, build on it. Using this in my own business, as you go through the tabs, you'll find that you'll see where the holes are in your marketing follow-up systems. So you can see, if I go to web assets, I've got various pages in place now. So I've got my lead magnet opt-in page, which is this. So this is where I can send people to opt in for the Lead Incubator blueprint. And again, you might have multiple landing pages in here, potentially for either different pages for the same lead magnet, or you might have multiple lead magnets, but you can list what they are so that at a glance you know where all of your landing pages are, which is the current control version, which is the perhaps what experiments you're running on those pages if you're sending a reasonable volume of traffic to them. My thank you page 1, when people opt in for my lead magnet, is then this page. So actually this page does pass through the contacts. So on the first form, they enter their first name and email address. Those first name and email address do get passed through, and the first name is then merged onto the page itself. So there's a bit of page customization based on the contact's details. And the second page says, great, where should I send your free book? I've got a video here explaining why you should fill in the form to request your free copy of the Lead Incubator book. Again, this will pre-populate the contact's first name and email address, so then they just have to enter their mailing address. When they say send my book, they get sent to thank you page. So in my case, it's thank you page 2B, because it's a paid trial offer. For your business, it could be a time-based offer, which would be thank you 2A. That's what the A-B distinction is. So when people submit the second form, they get sent to a second thank you page that says, great, your book will be in the mail shortly. As a second gift, I'd also like to give you a month of community membership for £1. And then I explain what they get. So as a community member, which is the entry-level price points, they get forum support. They get my 4-page print newsletter, which is going to be a stamp folded A3, a 4-page document, restarting again this month. And they get access to my Nurture Email Mastery copywriting training. So again, there's a video, more of like a demo video, explaining what they get. There's then a form. This form will pre-populate information that they've already entered on the second form. So they've already told me their mailing address. So then that will populate the billing address, which they can update if they need a different billing address on file. It will pre-populate their email address, their first name. So it's quite a seamless, there's quite a lot of attention to detail here in terms of reusing data that people have already given you in subsequent forms, and then placing what really is a no-brainer offer for the right person. So, if this is of interest to you, come on in, spend £1. It then renews at £15 a month. Obviously, there's an ascension model. So if people then want to join the fortnightly Writer Circle calls, they can upgrade at any time. But it's a way of getting people in. It's also a way of recouping the cost of sending out books straight after people opt in. What I'm hoping is that this system will be self-liquidating in terms of it costs approximately between £5 to £6 to print and send someone a book. So it doesn't matter if I make a minor loss on it, but I'm hoping that some income from the community level memberships will liquidate the cost of sending out those books, which doesn't really bother me, because it's in many respects it's a cost of marketing anyway. But the more you can liquidate your costs of marketing, the more likely you are to push the marketing flywheel a bit harder, a bit faster. In terms of my email sequences then, so I've been doing loads of work. So under print assets, this looks like it needs loads of work, but my main print asset is my Lead Incubator book. This is marked as orange, needs work, but actually all it needs work is the cover needs a minor update, and that cover will also become the cover for the Kindle version. The book manuscript itself is currently done. The email assets then, so these are all of the emails that exist in my Lead Incubator system. So E01 is my initial sequence where I deliver the Lead Incubator blueprints. I have a welcome email that goes out at the same time. E02 is my orientation sequence. There's going to be, there will shortly be a podcast associated with each of these topics, but I've got 5 pillars that are kind of the pillars of my work. So genius, empathy, structure, consistency, and refinement. There's then my core story sequence, which is the 10 more personal story prompts for communicating who I am, what I stand for, what the outcome I provide is. E04 then is what I'm calling the greatest hits sequence. So these are back issues of my regular emails that go out at higher frequency. So each of these then is so I've also got a link to the Word document for each of these emails on my local machine so that I can access them. I can find the raw copy if hypothetically I was to ever get locked out of my email platform, I have local copies, I know where they all are, I can see what the status is. In the email system, the final thing I want to show you before I end this video is that there are certain offer points in the lead incubator. So all of the red O's are offer points. So you place an offer to people after they've requested your free book, at the end of the orientation sequence, at the end of the core story sequence. What you can do in a lot of email systems, what you can do in a lot of email systems is create, so in my system, which is Go High Level, you can create a trigger link. And that trigger link can be used to apply a tag when someone clicks on that link. So if you click through to, so let me just show you one of those emails. So this is the email at the end. So this was email 5 in my orientation sequence. If you click on this link here, this takes you back to the paid trial offer. It also acts as a trigger link. So it increases your flame score, your activity score in the CRM system, so it flags you as a hot lead. It also applies a tag to tell me that you've clicked through to the offer page in the last 30 days, but you haven't yet taken the offer. So if you view this page and you don't take the offer, I've then got the option to follow up with you manually, see if there's anything see if you've got any questions. Again, you don't have to do it in like a creepy way. You don't have to email someone and say, hey, I saw that you looked at the offer page, but you didn't complete the order form, because that's kind of a bit creepy. I'd be glad to live in my shoulder a bit. But you could say, hey, just wondered if you had any questions about community membership. I'm here to answer them. You know, that kind of message. But you're triggering that message based on the fact that they've clicked on the trigger link and they're not yet checked out. So anyway, I wanted to just give you a little look behind the scenes, show you a little bit of what my systems are now looking like. What I want is for you to build this out in your work too. That's what this is here for. This is the work that we're going to be doing in the Story Selling Lab. What's going to happen with Writer's Circle membership is I'm going to be producing a series of mini courses over the next year, really, that takes a look at different aspects of the leading incubator. So to build out the leading incubator, you need to know how to create a landing page. So we'll have a little mini course, my kind of Rob's quick and dirty landing page overview training. So we'll do a mini course on landing pages. We'll do a mini course on email creation, but specifically for each specific sequence, how to get your minimum viable product in place quickly without necessarily building the whole thing out. So we might do like a minimum viable product mini course of like what you need to do to get the bare bones of the system in place, so you can put that in place and then build it out over time. I'm going to do a mini course on retargeting. So there's a couple of retargeting points of people who have been on your website and not opted in, people who've potentially watched a video associated with your orientation sequence. So again, I'll have a mini course on how you might implement those on LinkedIn, Meta, Google. So there's various ideas and developments for creating mini courses around different aspects of this to show you how to do things, to keep you unstuck. I think there's a lot. I'm quite excited about this. I think there's a lot of exciting stuff in here. So yeah, in short, please do use it, take a look at it, let me know how you get on, post in the community when you've got questions. I'll be referencing this on forthcoming Writer's Circle calls as well. So I'm going to leave this video here. Hopefully that's been interesting. Thanks.